The lights go off and we're away, and the front two rows attack as we go down towards that very tight left-hander.
But Mark Webber, after a lap, is leading the entire field. Look at that. I mean, well, look at the train. We talk about a trolley train, but look at the Webber train. And in fact, Frentzen into the first corner has made a move. Bearing in mind, this is a guy who's won the past two races, and Montoya just stuck him into the wall there. Arrows just cannot contend with that, not with their engine and aerodynamic situation. And Frentzen still holding second. Frentzen has done astonishingly well, and there's Eddie Irvine in the way. And all going down to the World Champions. Can we avoid an incident? No, because Barrichello has just shoved Massa into the wall there. Rubens Barrichello second. And in fact, that's Michael Schumacher going slowly. You see, Schumacher, what he probably should do is just pull over and let everyone through. Oh, this is a tasty situation. Ralf Schumacher from the lead of the race with half a lap to go is retired. Frentzen is being helped by his fellow countrymen because look, Michael Schumacher is in some way blocking the field from getting near Frentzen. But I don't think it's going to make any difference as Barrichello is going to lap Eddie Irvine. Actually, no, I don't think he will, but he will win the 2002 Canadian Grand Prix, almost lapping the person who beat him in Austria. Montoya second. Jarno Trulli will come across the line to take third place. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, astonishing stuff. His countrymen helped him out, and Frentzen to take fourth for Arrows. That's astonishing. Jenson Button will take fifth, and Kimi Räikkönen scores his first points of the season in sixth.
It's the European Grand Prix round 9 of the 2002 FIA Formula One World Championship here at the famous Nurburgring in Germany. This is the first of two Grand Prix held on German soil, and the grandstands are a sea of red, giving a good indication who the spectators are rooting for. Apart from Michael Schumacher, however, Ralf Schumacher always goes well at this venue, and no doubt the Williams BMW will prove very competitive. Nick Heidfeld will also aim for at least a points finish in his Sauber Patronus, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen will be keen to make his mark too. All in all, a great race weekend to look forward to.
The Nürburgring is probably most famous for the legendary Nordschleife, the old part of the track that Formula One cars raced on until 1976. Today's race covers 67 laps, a single lap being 2.831 miles or 4.556 kilometres. The lap record was set by Juan Pablo Montoya in his Williams BMW. Teams generally go for medium to high downforce settings as the track contains many corners which tend to generate understeer. A soft front spring and more front wing are often required to find the best balance.
Right then guys, it's PSL here and I'm here for part 9 in my Formula 1 2002 Reverse Grid Race series. Here at the European Grand Prix, as you will have seen, introduced by James Allen and Martin Brundle. And obviously here we got a reverse of the real life qualifying results for the 2002 European Grand Prix. So Alex Young, obviously unsurprisingly, was the slowest. Webber, again, kudos, out qualifying Bernard in the Arrows. Villeneuve had a quite poor qualifying, so did Fisichella. So maybe we could see Villeneuve and Fisichella's first points of the season. Both Jaguars, obviously, they're certainly going to be contending for the race win. Frentzen, obviously the man of the Canadian Grand Prix, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, what an astonishing performance he had. Could he get another one this race? Who knows? And then below that, it's just the usual really. Massa, kind of the first of the quick cars, although both Jaguars are good. Well, I mean, Massa's ahead of Heifeld, both Renaults, both McLarens, both Ferraris and both Williams. And in fact, both Ferraris already starting ahead of the Williams, so this should be an even easier day than usual for Ferrari, but honestly, who knows. Michael Schumacher, he has just gone down recently. The Canadian Grand Prix where he had that mysterious incident. What about Monaco where he had no pace? I mean, Schumacher's season is falling apart in front of him, so hopefully he'll be able to recover that at his home race. I mean, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot of other drivers, taking part in their home race here. Frentzen, Ralf Schumacher. So yeah, we'll just have to see how the 2002 European Grand Prix goes.
Hello and welcome to the European Grand Prix round 9 of the 2002 FIA Formula One World Championship. Michael Schumacher scored his 5th win of the season for Ferrari here last year, with Juan Pablo Montoya second for Williams BMW. David Coulthard grabbed the final podium position of the race for McLaren Mercedes in 3rd, with Ralf Schumacher 4th, Rubens Barrichello 5th in the second Ferrari, and Mika Hakkinen taking the final point of the race with his McLaren Mercedes in 6th. We've got 20,000 Mercedes employees waiting to see their men get into turn 1 first. Can they manage it? Any moment now we'll be racing at the Nurburgring. The lights go out and we're away! And they're all away safely. No one takes to the grass as far as I can see. Rushing down the hill towards that right-hand turn 1.
Right, thank you, James Allen. And I have no idea what happened at the start because we had a horrific camera angle. But what has happened is the first corner has happened and Enrique Bernoldi is leading coming out of the first turn. Jacques Villeneuve is in second. There's been a bit of an incident behind, and in fact, that is Mika Salo has just been taken out there. Let's have a look at that, because I just caught a glimpse of that, and that was dirty, dirty play. In fact, can we see further up the field? Well, not really. So let's have a look at Bernoldi. Can we really see how good of a start he got? Nothing to really comment on when we don't really have the best angle, but Villeneuve, I think Villeneuve and Bernoldi just got it hooked up, really. So, where is Mika Salo? I think it was a Mercedes who took him out. Is that him back there? Yeah, that's Mika Salo, and yeah, that was a Mercedes of Kimi Räikkönen who took out Mika Salo there. So both Finns coming together, and yeah, just really not a great start if you're a Finnish Formula 1 fan, or if you're just a fan of Mika Salo or Kimi Räikkönen, which I would have to say I probably am a fan of both of those drivers. So, hang on, what's going on there? I didn't make that up, did I? There was a Jaguar driver. That's Pedro Della Rosa who went off. Alright, okay, let's have a look at this, because Pedro Della Rosa, an outside championship contender. Oh, and that was a Ferrari who took him out there. Which one was that? It wasn't that one. Ah, it was Barrichello who took him out. Let's have a look at this again. So Barrichello just taking out his championship contender, that is. That's definitely Ferrari trying to do something against Jaguar, because we know Ferrari and Jaguar are rivals this season. And in fact, actually, so are McLaren and Toyota. So really, there's a lot of battles which are just getting way too heated here. Okay, so moving back up towards the front, have we still got Bernoldi leading it? Yes, we do, but Eddie Irvine has slipped into second. Villeneuve in third, but he's still hanging on in there. So who knows? Villeneuve could grab his first points of the season. Of course, Bernoldi hasn't got any points either. So it's all to play for these guys. That's a a Jordan who's had an engine failure. It's Takuma Sato. No surprise there. I mean, we should have a counter of how many retirements Takuma Sato has had, because it's a ridiculous amount. This game, honestly, genuinely, this game is programmed against Takuma Sato. He has that many engine failures, both on and off camera. Is ridiculous. Eddie Irvine going all out of shape there, but he's still holding second. Villeneuve still holding third, but we've got there's Montoya all the way up into fourth. So in the lap, Montoya's gone from, I think, last to fourth. Alright, well done, and he's getting past Villeneuve, and I can't believe I'm seeing this. Yeah, he's up into third place. Eddie Irvine, he's made a move on Bernoldi. Yep, so Eddie Irvine is leading, although that's lasted a few seconds, but because Montoya, he's come from last to first. Absolutely staggered. Bernoldi's taken back second. That hasn't lasted too long either, because Eddie Irvine's got back past him. We've got Jarno Trulli hanging around in fourth. Villeneuve still in fifth, and then we got both Ferraris right up behind, with Michael Schumacher just ahead. And oh no, we don't want a repeat of Jerez, and we're not going to get it, thank God. That's Eddie Irvine out of an engine failure. Eddie Irvine, and he was, up in second place. He's a championship contender. He had an amazing season. I mean, he won in Monaco, he won in Spain. No, he didn't win in Spain. He won somewhere else. Was it Austria? That's where it was. So anyway, Montoya's leading, Trulli second, Barrichello in third, Schumacher fourth, Coulthard fifth, Bernoldi sixth. Don't know what happened to Trulli. What did happen to Trulli, actually? Trulli's just disappeared off of the face of the earth. So, or am I No, Trulli's in second. Hang on, am I just going mad? No, Trulli... No, I think I've just gone mad. Trulli is in second. Alright, for some reason I thought I didn't see him. Alright, okay, so, ignore that. Alright, so, recap. Montoya first, Trulli second, Barrichello third, Schumacher fourth, Michael Schumacher that is, David Coulthard in fifth, and Villeneuve in sixth, but he's got Heifeld up behind him. The one German driver I forgot to mention in the build-up, and of course Nick Heifeld, is going to take a point in his home race. He might well do, but I don't know if he's close enough. Well, apparently he is, because he just dove it down the inside, although Villeneuve's got the inside line. Yeah, Heifeld basically went into the grass there. What about the battle between both Ferraris? No, Barrichello is still leading that. He's in mostly clean air, apart from the fact he's got Jarno Trulli to contend with. And I think this could be a boring second half of the race. I mean, Michael Schumacher challenging Barrichello, and obviously he's got the inside line coming into this hairpin. Will he be able to outbrake his teammates? Oh, and he has easily. Anybody would have thought that that was team orders coming into effect there, and Schumacher... Well, Barrichello was instructed to let Schumacher through. Whoa! Ralf Schumacher going out in spectacular fashion. No surprise there, but he's got an engine failure, and I think, yep, he's only got 3 wheels. That is, if you're going to retire, you've got to retire like Ralf Schumacher. No one else can do it better than Ralf Schumacher. Losing a wheel in literally a blaze of destruction. I mean, his engine was on fire. He had 3 wheels. I think he... Whoa! What did he do that for? I mean, as I said, no one can retire quite like Ralf Schumacher. I mean, that is a gift, that is. Let's have a look. So, as on board as we're going to get. So, he's challenging... Yeah, so Ralf Schumacher challenging Villeneuve. He has an engine failure, and he thinks, do you know what? I'm Ralf Schumacher. I can't just retire normally. Let's go spearing off into the wall. Let's cost, you know, Williams and BMW a ton of money, and let's just go out in style, because that's how he does it. That is the Ralf Schumacher way. I know people always make jokes about Pastor Maldonado, you know, and Grosjean, but for me, the king of crashing is Ralf Schumacher. Anyway, Montoya, Michael Schumacher, Barrichello. Is that... has improved his position and is now in 11th place. Do you know what? So much has happened. I've completely... Do you know what? I really am not in the state of mind to record this video, because I'm trying to think, has Trulli retired or what? Because Trulli definitely was in second, and last time we saw him he was ahead of both Ferraris, and now he's like literally nowhere. I mean, there's Button, and there's someone else who's retired. Both 2 cars, Della Rosa and Heifeld, have retired next to each other. Alright, okay, this has been quite a dramatic race, actually. I mean, Trulli's literally disappeared. I literally don't even remember what's happened to him, unless he did retire off screen. So anyway, Montoya's leading. He's won this race, unless he retires much like his teammate did. Panis retiring. Is that Panis? Yep, that's literally Panis' engine. He's gone as well, so... Jeez, what's going on this race? Because apparently no one can finish it. Montoya's still leading, and unless his car blows up, nah, he's won easily. I mean, Michael Schumacher, I think maybe Michael might be catching up, but ever so slightly. I mean, there's only 2 laps left to go. Barrichello's in 3rd, Coulthard 4th, and actually Coulthard putting in a good show. Raikkonen 5th, and Jenson Button 6th, so I really do not see... Unless there's a retirement, I do not see the top 6 changing, because I think unfortunately Villeneuve is going to miss out on getting the points once again. So is Benoldi. In fact, is that Benoldi there? To be fair, Benoldi hasn't done too bad this race, because we know the Arrows is pretty bad in 2002. So Benoldi's done alright. So yeah, Button, Raikkonen, Coulthard, Barrichello, Schumacher, Montoya. A reasonably acceptable top 6 in the real-life 2002 season. Yeah, and I don't really see anything else happening. So, yeah, that's that, basically.
The fastest lap of the race was just set by Michael Schumacher.
Giancarlo Fisichella is passed and has moved up into 11th place.
Well, look at the lap times there, and that does paint a clear story, and that is that both Montoya and Michael Schumacher have been pretty evenly matched. But as we saw, Martin Brundle said Michael Schumacher setting the fastest lap of the race thus far. And yeah, he is definitely catching up. I mean, look, Michael always catch up to Montoya. He can sort of see him if you squint. Same can be said for Barrichello. Coulthard, that McLaren cannot contend with the Williams. And Ferraris, it can get close to them, but it can't really beat them. Raikkonen having his own race, same can be said for Button. So moving back up towards the front, and Juan Pablo Montoya, I don't know how he's done it, because he qualified in last place, but he's moved up, and he's able to win the European Grand Prix. Astonishing stuff. I mean, honestly, and he charges his way through the field much better than Michael Schumacher, who takes second place, and Rubens Barrichello, who takes third. Then we got David Coulthard, he's taken fourth place, good for, obviously, McLaren, but crucially Mercedes at one of their home races. Kimi Raikkonen taking fifth, and Jenson Button sixth. And considering Raikkonen took out Mika Salo at the start of the race, karma hasn't bitten him back yet. And in fact, Raikkonen, it took him a long time to score some points, but finally he's racking some up, and actually same can be said for McLaren. Hang on! Coulthard's engine has blown up on the parade lap. Oh, with dramatic scenes. I mean, Coulthard, I mean, he's still going to get the points. I don't think that's a breach of rules, but wow. Wow, now that race was an explosive race. I think that is the perfect term to describe this race. Explosive. I mean, so many engines literally exploded, but I mean, we had a typical Ralf Schumacher retirement, so great to see him back to his old ways. But also, we had tons of overtakes. I mean, obviously, most positions gained. No surprise goes to Juan Pablo Montoya coming from 22nd to 1st. And he did that in a lap and 3 corners. So, wow, impressive stuff from Montoya. And also, he is another outsider championship contender. And while I think he's got the speed to win the championship, BMW do not have the reliability. I mean, we have not seen a single breakdown for a Ferrari car, so I think fundamentally that's going to be what does it for Montoya. So on to the Drivers' Championship, and not really a lot has changed. Michael Schumacher is still leading, Barrichello is still second, Montoya is still third, but now only 6 points behind Michael Schumacher. So Montoya, as long as he keeps up those kind of electric performances which we have seen on a few occasions, and as long as his car holds together for the rest of the season, he is definitely a serious championship contender. We've seen the speed he's got, we saw it here, we've seen it in Brazil. He's got the speed, it's just a question over reliability. Lower down the field, not really anything has changed. David Coulthard has overtaken Jenson Button, but both of those guys scored points. Coulthard just scoring more points than Button. And then Kimi Raikkonen scored a couple of points to overtake Felipe Massa. But really, in the championship, basically nothing's changed. So on to the Constructors' Championship, and again there not a lot has changed. Ferrari still leading the Constructors' Championship. Williams have overtaken Jaguar to go into second place, only by a point. But that epic Constructors' Championship battle between Jaguar and Williams is still carrying on. Lower down the championship, Renault are now equal on points with Sauber, but Sauber are still ahead thanks to Nick Heidfeld's second place finish at Monaco, so on that basis alone, Sauber are ahead. Obviously McLaren did well this race, I mean their best race of the season so far, as they've doubled their points count from 5 to 10, and are now way ahead of that group of Toyota, Arrows, and they're now actually catching up to the group of Renault and Sauber, which is kind of where I expected them to be, is with Renault and Sauber, so we could see a late season charge from McLaren. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and this race was amazing, and I don't know whether that race will be topped anytime soon, but we know this game, and this game is absolutely manic, and you know, I think that's one of the reasons why I like Studio Liverpool and I like the F1 games that they made, is because their games were dramatic, they were exciting, they were unpredictable to a degree, and I just feel that you don't really get that to the same extent with Codemasters F1 games. But yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Next time is the British Grand Prix, my home race, and that was a track which back in the F1 Championship Edition went massively in favour of the big teams, and naturally it's going to, obviously Williams are going to thrive here with their most powerful engine. But obviously McLaren will be in good stead, so will Ferrari, because Ferrari are always in good stead. I mean, who knows, we'll just have to see how it goes. There's no point predicting this series, because literally anything can happen. So I'll see you then.